Hey everybody, it's Brendan TWL here. Um, so if you don't know my TikTok account, go watch a few of my videos before watching any more of this video because I'm about to explain uh, how I believe how my Kawasaki Mule sprung a leak. So, alright, comfortable here. Alright, so I'm not really sure how to start this off, but I'm gonna just go how I remember it. Alright, so recently, like 2 or 3 days ago, um, okay, so about 3 days ago, um, my dad and I had recently, um, worked on the antifreeze pipe to see if we can get that, fluid going through it, because what we never did was we never like took that little screw thing off and then filled it up from the front, because how mine works, you just do it from the front. However your Fuller or Kawasaki Mule or side by side or whatever it is that you got, however that works is probably going to be different from mine. Um uh so we pour water until like the little hole where the screw is just starts squirting out water. Until that happens, that means it's full. Uh so we did that to see if it worked, and yeah, that actually did work. And my dad taught me something that I didn't even come up with. I didn't even know how to come up with stuff like this. All right, so if you're ever if you're ever stranded in the middle of nowhere with no place to go and buy a little head gasket, take cardboard, like, you know them 12 packs that you can buy at the store. If you have any cardboard like that lying around, um, he highly suggests using that as um, the head gasket. So that's basically what we were working on trying to fix, because we thought that was the issue. I think that was part of the issue. But what we didn't realize at the time was that pipe from that runs underneath the floor of my Kawasaki Mule, um, it it actually had a tiny leak to it, I believe. And I'm gonna get that into a little bit. Just put that all aside. And so we were working on that pipe. We were working on that pipe by the motor in the back, um, 3 days ago, and so we fixed that. And like, I was so surprised that it worked. Like, I was finally able to drive it like without no problem. But here was the funny part. I was driving half of the time, and that engine light plug wasn't even plugged in. So, like, I drove to the park around the block, and then I drove to this hardware store. I drove to the hardware store like 2 to 3 times before I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check it to see if it's plugged in, because I don't remember if my dad plugged it back in. So I pulled over after leaving the hardware store for like the fourth time, I think. I opened the back up, and sure enough, that plug wasn't plugged in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I was driving around and the plug wasn't even plugged in. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I plugged that back in and drive around a few more times to see if the light will come on. And surprisingly, the light never came on. So yeah, hooray. So um, I I was very happy about that. So we decided to drive, like, we decided to drive past the boat launch where I usually go to turn around and come back. All the way to the bridge. That's like over a few blocks down. And we get on the bridge, because we did this before when I first had it, when it didn't have an engine light problem. So we drive down the bridge. We go even farther out, go a few more blocks, and then cross the next bridge to get back. We do that, make a U-turn, because I was originally not supposed to cross the bridge and just make a U-turn, because that was the original plan that I wanted, but I ended up crossing the bridge and then immediately realizing that that's not the path I wanted to take. So I make a U-turn, go back across the bridge just so I can go back. So yeah, we drive all the way back, and there was no problem. No problem at all. Engine light never came on. It wasn't overheating. Nothing. And so I was like, "Yay! Like we finally fixed that engine light problem." Like it's been like almost over a year, or maybe even over a year, probably that we have in that problem, and like we finally fixed it. I don't know how, but we fixed it. Turns out, we actually didn't. Because the next day, when I wake up in the morning, ready to start my day, my dad asks me if I want to go to the store. And I'm like, sure, since we fixed the engine light, let's go. Let's do it. So, not even knowing if it was halfway over to the store, the engine light comes on. And I'm like, I thought we fixed that problem. So, I was like, okay, maybe it's just a teeny tiny little leak. That's probably not a big deal. We could just easily fix that, right? So, we fill it up with water, thinking that it didn't have much of a leak. Turns out that wasn't the case whenever we got to the store, because we actually had to slow down from 19 miles an hour to 12 or lower after we pulled over to fill it back up. We didn't want to take the chance of being in the high level, because on my speed thing, above 12 miles an hour, that's considered going into the high speed, or high temperature speed, is what I like to call it. So, we go to the store, we arrive at the store, and then, like, as we get to the store, we make our turn to go into the parking lot, and all of a sudden, a whole bunch of water is squirting from all over underneath the floor. And I do not know what the heck started this at the time, but like, I cannot believe that whatever it was that was wrong with that pipe happened at the store. So we're looking underneath the floor of the four-wheeler, or Kawasaki Mule, whatever you want to call it. And we're like, we couldn't tell where it was leaking from because it was dripping all over from the water squirting everywhere. So we decided to come back after shopping, put all the groceries in the back. You know how it goes. And we come back, we pour some water into the antifreeze thing because we didn't have antifreeze. Sure enough, we figured out where that was coming from. I don't know how I didn't realize this before, but there was actually 3 different leaks from that same pipe. I do not know how I did not notice this before. But, whenever that we found out yesterday that there was more than one leak after we fixed that one leak that was really bad. So we were stranded out there, like we were stranded at the store in the parking lot for over half an hour. Until finally, I call my mom and I'm telling her that we stuck at the store and my dad is trying to tape up the pipe, trying to fix that leak so we can get it home. And she just decides to send my brother over, since my brother so happens to be at my house, to where she can just simply tell him to come pick me up, to pick me and my dad up, because we were both there shopping. So we wait like another 10 minutes for Joseph to arrive, and the reason why it took him that long was because his truck didn't start because he didn't know why. So he had to take my dad's truck. So he comes over to the parking lot with a rope, so in case he was going to pull us back, in which he did. And my dad told him to drive slow. And I was kind of worried because it's been a long while since I told my brother that it has no brakes. My four-wheeler does not have brakes. So I was kind of afraid if he went kind of fast and then immediately just stops, my four-wheeler's just keep rolling until it runs into the side of him. So, but I'm surprised he remembered that. Not even to mention that my dad has already wrecked the back of his truck with a huge dent, and the fact that he has a backup camera, he just runs into the back of that camper that we used to have. Like, he has a backup camera, and he still manages to back into something. So, yeah. I'm gonna go get my tablet so I can show you the picture that we took. Alright, here's that picture that my dad took. Me and my brother were disappointed. He didn't videotape this. Like, I can't believe he didn't just pull out the camera and just start recording. I thought he was recording because the way he was holding the camera. He was holding that camera up for a while, thinking that he was making a video, right? But he just takes a picture. Like, come on. Like we don't ever get something like this. We don't ever get something like this. Like, I mean, I'd like to reenact this just so I can have a video taken, but I mean, we can only do that if it's necessary. And yeah, that was Sunday. It was Sunday. But yeah. So okay. This right here, that's the pipe that we're still fixing. This is the part that we fixed. The part that we didn't fix, let's see if I can get a really good picture of it. Let me see if I can get a good part of that. I have a video that I recorded earlier. Yeah, the pipe's not in good condition. This leak coming from whatever that is right there at the bottom right here, this is a video that I took. I'm just showing you parts of that. But yeah, this whole part right here, that's all rotted out. I mean, not all of it, but two leaks right there. There's 2 leaks right here that are that still need to be patched and fixed. So my dad and I worked together to try and take all the top part off so we can have an easier way of getting to that pipe. Apparently we're going to have to cut off that little support thing for that pipe so we can fix that. But before, I mean, this was my design that I came up for the bed and the side. Here are my stickers in the back. But yeah, this is what broke down. This is basically what broke down. Not this. But yeah, that's what we had to tow home. But yeah, a really nice design. I really like this. My parents like it too. They really like the idea. But enough of that. Where was I? So yeah, forgive me if I forget certain parts of it. If there's any questions that you want to leave down in the comments of what I didn't explain, please do that. But yeah, like we literally did not. How long is that? Okay, 16 minutes. I can just record for like a few more minutes. Okay, like 3 more minutes. Okay. Okay, so today my dad and I, like I just said, we took all the top pieces off just so we can get to that. But that ended up being us taking all that off, taking the radiator and moving that out to the side so we can have an easier access to that. I'm not going to be able to drive that thing for a while until we fix that pipe. Because that ain't going anywhere until that pipe is fixed. I really wanted to get that thing working today. But I think it was because of me sleeping half of the day that's probably what made it to where it wasn't going to be possible. So, I'm going to see if I can get up a lot earlier today. I mean, tomorrow. It's not. Why do I do this to myself? But, yeah, we had to get towed home. And we also had to put it on the ramps thing. If you didn't see that TikTok video, go check it out if you haven't already. We didn't really do as much work as we had originally planned. But yeah. I think that's going to wrap it up. I mean, I kind of hate to wrap it up now. But if there is something that I have forgot to mention, leave that question down in the comments, and where I had last left off, so I can explain the rest of that in the comments. I know not really too many people are gonna probably watch this. I just wanted to make a video explaining what was going on with my folder. So, yeah. It was definitely a lot. So, a lot that I'm trying to tell you, and whenever I talk a lot, it ends up starting to confuse me. Which is why I originally wanted to do this with my dad, but I just thought, you know what, I said I was going to post a video. I don't want to keep my followers and regulars waiting on me to post a video about my folder situation, so here it is, uploaded and ready for you to watch. I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you in the next video.